Hello. How are you? You alright, Mel? Thank you so much for excusing me last night. Hi! Thank you so much for giving me the night off last night. Daniel and I went for just a couple of drinks for my birthday, which was really nice. The day didn't go as we wanted it to, which is okay because we learn to flip and reverse and change plans quite a lot because we do accommodate our kiddos. So yeah, it was nice to go out for a few drinks. Oh, it was really nice. It was really nice. We managed to sit outside as well. There was a tiny bit of rain, but we were underneath like the cover. It was just dead nice just to get out for a couple of hours. So thank you so much, guys. I'm just finishing off this leaf here. And today I have been into Manchester to meet my gorgeous friend Katie, who I met online. And we've been friends since the pandemic, but we've been like internet friends, and we finally met in person today, and it was so lovely. We went for brunch, and then I took her around the art shops in Manchester and the fabric shop. So we got some gorgeous fabrics and we got some lovely art materials, and yeah, it was really lovely. But yeah, so this morning, before I'd even got out of the door, my phone has been on its last legs for probably about 6 months now. But you know when you want to eke it out, because it's just another expense, isn't it? So this morning, Katie messaged me on WhatsApp, sent me a link to show me her journey because she was travelling up to meet me, and then my phone went blank. So we had this mad panic rushing around to charge up an old phone, put my SIM into it, and then eventually Daniel had to go out today whilst I was out and get me a new phone. Thank God. So yeah, that's why I pushed it back to 8:30, because this new phone wasn't set up with Instagram. So although the technology side of me isn't, I just can't. So Dan sorts out the phones, but even in the simplicity of transferring data, I wasn't logged into all of my apps, so my brain doesn't remember passwords, so I've had to reset all my passwords and 2-factor authentication with my daughter helping me. So yeah, I'm finally set up, and there's a waffle of my day. So I hope you've all had a good day so far. It's Saturday, so I'm hoping no one's had to work and you've all had a nice restful day. What have you been doing, Mel? And what have you been doing, Teresa? Hello, Abigail. Hope you had a nice Saturday. I am just getting my threads ready. We're going to work on these leaves here today. And I think I'm going to work with, actually, stitching my brains out. What have you been stitching today? Hi, Abigail. Have you had a good day today? Saturday for you? No school, no work, hopefully. I've been at my quilting class. Oh, amazing. Have you got something that you take each time you go to your quilting class and finish it, or like work on bits together? And is it hand quilting or is it machine quilting? And Teresa has said, I have been trimming some trees in my garden. Nice time of year to be able to do that. Has it been very hot for you to do that? Hi, who's that? I'm on my live now.
See the t-shirt? Tomato sauce all over my t-shirt.
Daniel's making dinner and has got tomato sauce all over his t-shirt, so he's come up to get another one.
Sorry, guys.
Daniel apologised. So Mel has said, Penny McDowell, the Barmy Foxtail from last time. Oh, is that the one? Oh, the one that has got the waterfalls. I love that one that Tori did, with the separate windows. And Penny McDowell, I don't know what Penny McDowell means. Penny McDowell. I'll have to have a look at that one. Abigail said, yes, doing a letter to my daughter. Quill, oh, so sew a couple of blocks every other month. That's lovely. A bit like, almost like an advent, it sounds like. That sounds really cute. I love that. Yeah, I love that. The stitch along that Tori did last time was gorgeous. And I know she showed a sneaky peek of the one that she's going to be doing in August. I'm just going to lift the camera up a little bit and then zoom back in, just so I can get my hands underneath. There we go. And it looks gorgeous. Underwater theme. And I think I saw a shipwreck. Has anybody seen that one? But I do love Tori's. I always say to Tori that she has just got like this amazing mind that thinks about these different designs. She's such an amazing designer. So you can see here, I'm using all 6 strands and I have mixed 2 teal colours together. And they are 3847 and... no, it wasn't 922 and it was 3848. So 2 colours next to each other that are very similar, but it's just going to give a little bit of a tone. And Abigail has said, the new stitch along looks great from Tori. Yes, with the shipwreck, it looks amazing. She is such an amazing designer. And she comes up with these ideas so quickly. I would love a day in Tori's head because these ideas are amazing. And Teresa said yes, but Fred said, I know, love it. Veronica's seen the shipwreck. Abigail says, I haven't started on the last of Tori's stitch-alongs. Just prepped and watercoloured the background. I think the good thing about Tori's last one as well is you can do it all in little bits, can't you? Because they're all like little windows of happiness, I always thought when I looked at that one. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I think Tori's doing one in August, which she will be doing from the lake on her holidays. So, I wonder whether she'll do it inside or whether she might do it outside so we can hear the birds. How gorgeous will that be? So I am going to start on these leaves here. And I was on the last one, which is here, I did satin stitch, but I feel like we've done plenty of satin stitch. So I'm going to have a go with raised herringbone. And I love this stitch. It's a really simple one to do, which I have done on like a straight edge leaf before, but not a curved one. So I thought I'll give it a go. If we don't like it, we can pull it back out. We can just go with the satin stitch, but I'm going to give it a go. So yeah, I need to catch up with Tori. But literally all of my messages on WhatsApp, because I've transferred onto this new phone, have disappeared. So I need to check back in with people. I haven't caught up with any messages on here from yesterday because Instagram just went kaput with my phone. So yeah, I will, hopefully Instagram saves them. I'm pretty sure it will do, because you can read them on like a laptop or a tablet, can't you? So I'm sure they'll still be there. So I will reply to everybody tonight. Now I'm going to start at the base. I'm going to start with this one. Veronica has said, I loved when you did this in the kit. This is a very cute pattern. Oh, hi there. I know that name and I know that profile picture. DM Cyber. This is a gorgeous pattern. So this is the Hummingbird Stitchalong, and this is available on my website. And you can join it at any point. You can buy it at any point. It's £12. You download the booklet with the pattern, and then you'll get to follow along with the videos. Now I have this new phone, I am hoping that Instagram will play along, because I haven't uploaded these to YouTube yet. That is my job for tonight. So anyone that's waiting for them to land on YouTube, I'm now hoping that with this new phone I'll have the space to download and upload them all to YouTube and put them in a playlist. So Veronica, you said, I loved when you did this in the kit. Is that to me or is that to Tori? Or do you mean the stitch along with the kit? Or is it Tori's one that we're talking about there? So with a raised herringbone, we're going to start off by creating a little stitch at the base of your leaf or petal. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to come up to the top of your leaf. Bring your needle all the way through, and then we're going to weave underneath this little stitch here. And then I'm going to close it on this side here. Oh, The raised herringbone one. Yes, that was the, I realise what you mean now. That was the spring wreath. And it was a gorgeous yellow, pale yellow fabric in the background with a wreath that went around in the same pattern all the way around. But the raised herringbone was gorgeous. I do remember that one. Yeah, you're right. Veronica is just, you've got such a good memory. And your stitch work is gorgeous. I love seeing Veronica sharing work. I love it when all of you share your work, whether it's through DM. Sometimes I can't share it if you've got your settings not set to share, but if you're okay, I can take a screenshot. So now I'm going to come back round underneath this way and close off on the right hand side again. So it looks quite nice, see, with the two tones of the teal. Okay, and then we're going to come up on this side, always up on the left. I'm going to cross over and go underneath. And I'm going to close on the right hand side. Again, up on the left. Under the stitch. And this is working quite well actually with the curved leaf. Because the other one, if you remember, Veronica, it was almost triangular, wasn't it? It was like, it's too close. Love it when you share others' work, especially if I'm behind. Get such great, yeah. Oh, I love sharing the work. I know, Abigail, I think yours is one that I can't share directly to stories, but if you're okay with me screenshotting, I'll send a message if anybody sends it that way. If you're okay with me screenshotting, I would love to share your work as well. I think it's so good to see other people's work in progress. And to see where everybody's up to. Some people are just finishing off the cloud. Some people are leaving the cloud to the end. Mel, that's you, isn't it? You're leaving your cloud to the end because you've done yours on Fabri-Solvi. So yes, it's I think it's really good to see how other people do their work. Here we are. Absolutely share. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Abigail. I'm going to go back through your feed and share those. I love seeing it. I love it when Tori shares everybody's work as well. So you can see here now, I'm coming to the end of this little stitch, this little section. I think we can probably fit just this last one in. So I don't have to finish it all the way down to the end here. Once the shape is complete. And it's raised herringbone because you get a nice little bump in the leaf there. No, maybe one more just to cover this one. Yes, McFred, so you're doing your cloud afterwards. So when you come to do your cloud after, you'll have washed away your Fabri-Solvi. Are you just going to really lightly trace the top of your cloud on? Is that how you're going to work yours? Because I love that idea. There we go. It looks really cute, doesn't it? I like that. So it's a bit more time consuming than just doing it with the satin stitch, but I quite like that. And I think I'm going to play around with the colour combination because I've put 3 of each colour in here. How much have I got left on there? I haven't got lots actually, so let me tie that off. We'll keep some of those. I'm going to use maybe, because the colours aren't very different, but you can see that they're kind of mixed. I'm just going to cut out the felt and put it on there. Brilliant. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love how people tackle different parts in a different way as well. So I've done my flowers in yellow. Now, the reason I haven't finished this one is because I've run out of yellow. Rookie error. Why? So I'm going to have to look through my stash and find the yellow so I can finish off that flower. Very silly. And really, I could have just gone, Joe, I'm going to copy Mel and do a completely different colour. But I didn't. Here we go. So I'm going to use 5 of the lighter one and 1 of the darker one this time, just to play around with the colours. Because I don't want, we've done some lovely textures in this one here. And I think it'd be a shame to have these looking too blocky. So I'm going to play around with the colours. Cut the length the same. I'm going to take out 1 of this one, the darker one, and I'm going to take out 1 of the lighter one, put that to one side because I'll be able to mix 5 of the dark and a lighter one in there as well. And then I'm going to add these together like this. Might have to trace the cone flowers as well. Yeah, because it's a long satin stitch. Is that what you're thinking? I'll show you what you mean by the cone flowers here. So because it's a long one, yeah, when we were doing this the first time around in the workshop, we had to make sure everybody's work was really tight. And we tightened off the top of it. We made sure that it was really tight like a drum. Because we're doing such long satin stitches, if your fabric bags, these are going to bag and you want them to stay nice and straight. So yeah, so maybe washing away the fabric over would be a good idea for that one. So let's see how they look mixed. You can see that one darker one in with the light. So we'll see what that stitches up like. Thread our needle. But we can always, you know, we might try one of those cone flowers with a little bit of couching and see what that looks like. We can play around. We don't have to do them in the satin stitch. We can have a little play. I'm losing one strand every time I go to thread. I've just noticed that my daughter's joined my live. Very cheeky, which means they're all watching me while they eat dinner downstairs. I hope you're all eating up your dinner, guys, and that you've saved me some. Please put the lid on the pan. Okay. So again, I'm going to start here because I think I might join. My pen there. I'll do it with a pencil because I'm going to cover it. So I'm going to do these two the same with a 5 and a 1. These ones with a 3 and a 3. And then I'll do these ones with a 5 and a 1, but of the darker colour, and then I'll repeat that going down. So these ones will be 3 and 3. These ones will be 5 and a 1, and these ones will be 5 and a 1. So I'll repeat that through. Right, so I'm going to do a little stitch again at the bottom. In fact, that's going to be too big. Let's go smaller with that one. I do love raised herringbone, and it really does stick out as well, doesn't it? It's quite chunky. We'll go to here. Stitch down. So we start again at the top here. We go underneath the little stitch and finish up on the right hand side. And then we're going to start up here on the left, cross under the little stitch and finish on the right hand side. So overall, this leaf should look much lighter than this one, and then the one underneath it should look much darker because we've played around with that colour. Underneath. It's a really quick stitch actually. It might even be quicker than doing the satin. But I think for those that dislike satin, which nobody should, because we should love all stitches equally. But we don't, do we? Who does like satin, actually? Does everyone like satin? If you see a pattern with satin stitching, do you think, oh my gosh? Or do you look for ways around it? Because I know that Abigail will try and ditch French knots if she can. There we go. Under here. And to there. So today when we went into Manchester, it was actually really, really busy. And lots of people milling about, some people shopping, they had some live music on. But when we went into the fabric shop, it was actually really, really quiet. And it was really funny shopping with Katie. because we'd get to the till and she'd say, oh, just get a metre. And she'd say, okay, just a metre. No, actually, go on, I'll have 4. And she ended up buying the trimmings to go with the fabrics. It was really good. I do love Abercorns in Manchester, if anybody knows it. And when I was in there, the lady that served myself and Katie, she's the same lady that used to serve my mum when we used to go with my mum. She used to make our clothes. And she's retired, but still does like a couple of days. And she's absolutely gorgeous, this beautiful black lady. And she's been there for years with a gorgeous accent. And she said, I said, oh, do you know, I said, you used to serve my mum when we used to come in when we were children. She's been there for 28 years. And I said, you know, I said, I actually think you might have told us off a couple of times for messing about with the buttons. You know, all the buttons on the tubes. Oh, imagine my mum with 4 kids in a haberdashery shop. I mean, it was like heaven. But yeah, Mum just used to let this lovely lady. I'd never got a name, but she was absolutely gorgeous. And she's still there. So Veronica says, I like it, but not everywhere. She likes variety. Yeah, I like variety. I love a sampler or different stitches. Not a full kit with any type of stitch. Although I might do a full French knot kit and dedicate it to Abigail, who says, never French knots till I die. Do you love French knots then? I thought you didn't like French knots. French knots till I die. I bloody love a French knot. And we've only got a few in this one as well. One thing I do love about French knots is when people get them. You hate them, do you? Like, would you always swap out French knots? Is it like a absolutely not, never, ever? I love teaching them at a workshop when people say, oh, I've tried them and I hate them, and then they get it and it's just like perfection. I've lost my, there we go. How many have we got in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've lost my singular light coloured thread. How annoying is that? Oh, good news, guys. So, you know I lost my glasses. Really frustrating because they were like literally brand new. I don't know where I've put them. But I kept thinking, I'll find them. And then eventually I'm like, no, I just need to get some new glasses. So I went out yesterday, got myself some new ones, which should be here by the end of the week. And I'm going to have to get one of those, you know, the things you put on the arms of glasses. So they literally stay with me at all times because I cannot afford to buy another pair. Glasses are on the way. Abigail says, and I did all those French knots on the roving hills and then lost them when I finished it into a smaller hoop. Oh, where did you put the French knots? So you lost the French knots? What do you mean you lost them when you put them into a smaller hoop? Did they end up getting hidden behind the hoop? Is that what you mean? Abigail, that's devastating. Yeah, well, I'll have to set you some more for homework. So I'm using on this one 5 strands of the dark and 1 of the light. So this one should be the darkest one of all. The colour's subtle. You can see the subtle change. That one does look much lighter. So we'll see what this one looks like as we stitch this in. So again, my little shape here has got a bit skewy, but I know what shape it should be. So, and then with this one, you know, on this one here, we did stem stitch. So I think we're going to try split stitch on this one and go for a different look. Abigail says, yes, hidden in the hoop, as I had a cheap hoop which wasn't quite the right size. Oh my gosh, send me a DM, let me know what size hoop it was, and if you need one I can send one to you, because we cannot have that. We cannot have that hard work being hidden by a cheaper hoop. That's not okay. Here we go. So again, we're going to go this way, finishing off at the right hand side. Who's excited to do the thread painting of the hummingbird, which will be next week? And I think, as always, I plan out 3 weeks, 9 hours, but we always chuck an extra one in, don't we? So we definitely will be doing an extra one. I love chucking in an extra, but yeah, we'll have an extra live with metallics. I'm going to get my metallics out. Abigail sent me some beautiful metallics, didn't you? Do you remember? Silks and metallics. I am so lucky. I was saying this to Katie today. I am so lucky with the people that I have, that I've met on Instagram and throughout my business. I have just met the nicest, kindest, funniest people. I feel very, very lucky. And I've met like friends for life as well. Teresa's excited to do the hummingbird. Need to decide on my hummingbird colours. Ooh. I think I'm definitely going to use some of the teal and a brighter orange. So last time I used much lighter colours, but I think I'm going to go with quite vibrant colours this time around. I'm definitely going to lay them out so that I can see. And that one might be a slightly longer live. We'll see. Abigail says, yes, I have every single metallic thread and they need to be used. Or Abigail, you're setting me up for some difficult kits here, or difficult stitch-alongs, and it's, you know, when we're all cursing, we're going to just have to blame Abigail, aren't we? I love metallic threads, I do. And I think when you find the tricks to using them right, you get a beautiful effect with them. Because sometimes they can be tricky. I'll get a range of them out to show you and how I manage the trickiness with certain ones when we do the metallics. But I do tend to use some more specific ones in my kits because they are easier. Mel has said, I'm thinking about my hummingbird colours too. Yeah, you might want to do it once you finish the other bits in your kit, especially if you know what other colours you're using. There we go. So there's those 3 leaves. So here, 3 and 3 of these 2 colours. I do love mixing the colours because you can get variated thread, can't you? Which is lovely to use, but I do think just mixing some of the ones you've already got, and those colours are literally 47 and 48, but there's just a slight variation, and you can see when you do mix them. So that's an equal mix, 3 and 3, and then that's 5 of the lighter one and 1 of the darker, and this is 5 of the darker and 1 of the lighter, and I'm going to carry that through as I finish off my leaves. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the stem. And for the stem, should I try something a little bit different? I might use that bright colour actually. I've used that within this one here. I might use that one because I'm going to use this one in the sunflower one. So yeah, let's go with the lighter one. And we're going to do split stitch. So I want to use an even number. And I don't want it to be too thick because I want the leaves to be what stands out here. So I'm going to use 4 strands of this colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 2 of them away. Do my split stitch. It's split stitch. It's one that I don't use very often, but I do enjoy using it. I do enjoy stitching with split stitch. Not really for text. I always go with stem stitch for text or whipped back stitch. I'm not really a fan of split stitch for text. I just feel like it's quite laborious. So I'm going to start here at the very top. I'm going to zoom in for you. You love split stitch, do you? Would that be one of your go-tos then? Just going to smooth those out because I didn't separate them, but I want a nice smooth thread as I start. Love split stitch. I like it when it's quite chunky. I've gone thinner here because I've gone with 4. So I'm going to do 1 stitch in. You'll go to every time. Oh my gosh. It's amazing, isn't it? I love the fact that we all love different stitches as well. And then I'm going to come up on the line, not a full stitch width, because my full stitch will be created by working back down into this split. So you can split it by coming up into the stitch, but I think it's just easier to go back down into it, and you can control exactly where you want it to go. And I'm keeping these quite small, mainly because I want to aid the curve of this line, but equally because I want this to be smaller and in the background to the leaves. So again, not a full stitch length, because the full stitch length will equal it going into the stitch before. So Abigail, when you do yours, do you split going up, or do you split going down like I'm going down? Mel has said, you know, I miss doing swaps with other stitches. Oh, what's that? A swap as in pass on one kit to another? Split going down, yeah. Split going down is so much easier. And I just think it keeps it neater as well. You can see how long your stitch length is. But I'm going tiddly tiny here. I pulled up a thread. You know, I miss doing swaps with other stitches. Swap different completely. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that idea. You know what I've really wanted to do? Like one big hoop, or say for example an 8-inch one, and maybe a piece. So this is, I'm thinking on the spot with the design. So imagine this picture. Let me zoom out so I can show you. So imagine this picture is the design, but it's not filled in, and it's basically split into eighths. So we need 8 people to complete it, and I like the idea of somebody having that 8th, somebody having this 8th, and you finish your 8th with whichever colours or stitches you want to have, but maybe we stick with the same colour palette, and you send the threads on with the hoop, and then the next person does the next 8th. And maybe that's maybe using your favourite stitches within the piece, but then 8 people have stitched on this piece, and then we auction it off. I quite like that idea. What do you think? That would be so cool. I like that idea. And even if like you're in the States, I just think the next person's here, so you post it to them, and then at the end we auction it off and we decide on maybe which charity we want it to go to. I think that'd be a really nice idea. What would that be? It's almost like a pen pal, isn't it? But yeah, I think to put the whole kit together would be really cool. Yeah, do you think it's a nice idea? Cool. I've thought about that, and I thought, what if people wouldn't want to do it, and you split it into 8ths and you're the only one that's gone, yeah, I want to do that. But I'm holding you all to this now. Veronica said, oh, interesting. I love that idea. But I do like the idea of swapping as well. I love seeing other people's work. To swap a piece as well would be amazing. And it wouldn't even need to be just the embroidery. So, I don't know, obviously with quilting, Abigail saying that you're doing your quilting before takes so long to do. But it'd be so nice to say, well, I've made a quilted... Imagine if you made like a quilted zip bag. And you could do that, yeah. Abigail said, or we could do small and then sew panels... Or we could do small and then sew panels together into a larger piece. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. We need to discuss this, don't we? I think I might need to do, maybe on my broadcast channel, then anybody that wants to show interest, we could do that, couldn't we? I have one wall dedicated to other hoops that others had made. That's such a nice idea. I've got a few pieces by other artists and by other sewers. Oh, it's so lovely as well. You really get to see close up as well other people's work. Look, I've gotten distracted now, and look at how the length of those stitches. My goodness. I'm on to the next project like, oh my God, we can do this. Let's go into there. I'm doing a mini quilt swap at the moment, and I have done a bag swap before. That's such a good idea. So with a mini quilt swap, what type of things would you swap? And it's a mini quilt, so it would be one like a lap quilt, or would it be anything that's quilted? That sounds really good. But I do like the idea of the panels, because then I could get the panels printed up. Anybody that wants in, the full piece can be split into panels, and I could post you the panels. You could do any colours you like, so it's a secret. You don't show what colours you're using, and then I'll patchwork the pieces together, and it can be one finished piece. That's quite a nice idea. And I might do like a little box at the bottom where you could write your name, so that everybody's name's on this bigger piece. No, so Abigail said, no, a small wall hanging quilt. Do you have it so that you have the little wooden piece at the top that holds it in, almost like a wooden dowel with the string? Because I love those, the wall hangings. You see them a lot with weaving, don't you? And they're quite cool. Yes, I think that'd be a really good idea. And then as many people that wanted to do it could do it. I can just extend the size and split it into different pieces. And you won't know which piece of the pattern you get. Maybe. Oh my gosh, imagine if you didn't know what the finished picture was. You just got the section, so you could stitch it however you want to, but when it's all put together, it's a finished piece. Or maybe you should see the finished piece. Because say, for example, we did, say, for example, it was a whale, and the whale's skin goes this way, but you stitched it that way. It would still look really cool, because it's a patchwork. Okay, I think this calls for an Instagram group with ideas going in, and then the panels being printed and posted out, maybe with a secret clue as to what the final piece is, but you're not allowed to show anybody which panel you've got, which piece you've got, and what you've stitched until the reveal at the end. What do you think? Make notes, make notes. I think this sounds really cool. Any ideas? Keep the ideas coming, and I think we can get this done. Maybe we could go with autumn time, get summer out of the way and everyone's holidays out of the way, and we'll get this piece done. What do you think? And everyone think of maybe a charity that we can auction it off for. I think that'd be a really cool idea. And I think it'd be so pretty to see everybody's stitches all together. So there we go. So there we have a lovely little split stitch. It's a cute one, isn't it? I think it almost reminds me of a plait when you see it all together. I mentioned that fish plait the other day, didn't I? Was it on this? I'm sure it was on this live. I could have been waffling about it to somebody else. So. But I quite like that colour with these, and I think it makes these really stand out. So then it really shows that these leaves are behind. We used 3 strands, didn't we? Those leaves are behind. The flowers are in front. And these could probably be at the same distance forward in perspective. But it's really nice having the thinner contrasting colour coming through. What do we think? I like that one. So I think I'm going to leave you with those for today. And then I'm going to be back on Monday when I will have finished my roses. And then we're going to work on this tiny little rose here, doing satin stitch in different directions and maybe mixing your colours as well. That'll be quite a nice one to do. So yes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. But I want an extra day, so I'm going to eke something out. I think we're going to do 2 different cone flowers in different colours, because I want you all for another day. I'm really selfish like that. Okay, so there we go for today. I'm going to leave you to have a little go of those. If you want to mix your colours, you can do. If you don't have to. You might want to do solid colours in different colours going down. You might want to do them in green. You might want to do them in different colours, brighter colours. But yeah, have a little play. Let me know what you think. Send me pictures. I love sharing your pictures. And I'm going to make notes of what we've discussed here, because all the comments disappear. So I'm going to make the notes now in my phone app, and then I'm going to start on my broadcasting channel, see how many people are interested, then invite you to a separate group. But I think this could be something really good and really special. And all the pieces could be from like America, from Scotland, from Manchester, from maybe even further down south, from London, from a different country. I think it'd be really cool. How exciting. Right, enjoy your Saturday night, enjoy your Sunday, and I will be back here on Monday after sharing all your beautiful progress. I'll see you then. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye.